something completely different.
I try not to hate on religion. I grew up Catholic. I don't really believe in God, but I do pray because I'm like, why not? But the amount of pedophilia that gets covered up within all religion makes me sick. And Mariano Rivera, former New York Yankee closer great, he covered it up.
Whoa! Happy hot topic!
This is why you never know who your heroes are, because I used to love him.
This is a story that we've been following. Former New York Yankees pitcher Mariano Rivera and his wife have now been named in a lawsuit. The Hall of Famer is being accused of concealing repeated sexual assaults of a minor.
Here's what I don't get. I don't get why people that are in religion, when this happens, why they cover it up. Because then you're making all religious people look bad. I don't get it. Why would you want to defend a pedophile? It's the same thing that happened 15 years ago, 13 years, 14, whatever, trying to be exact. But with Joe Paterno and Jerry Sandusky, it's like, don't you have any credibility?
Now, the lawsuit says the abuse happened at events related to the church they founded. Let's get right to Good Day's Haley Fixler. She is live outside that church in New Rochelle, New York, with more details.
I'm seeing her outside of the church, and it just has really creepy vibes. Like most churches.
Haley, good morning.
Good morning, Tina Tashani. Well, it is important to note that the Riveras, they are not accused of abuse themselves.
But they covered it up. It's just as bad.
This lawsuit, though, this was just filed yesterday. And in it, the victim, identified as Jane Doe, says that not only did the Riveras fail to report this abuse, but she says they also allegedly encouraged her to stay quiet.
I don't get this. Why would you want to defend a pedophile? Why would you want to hang out with a pedophile? There's a sportscaster in Tampa who got accused of trying to hook up with a teenage boy that was a cop, and no one wants to mess with him anymore. No one wants to work with that sports reporter. With this incident, it's like, why would you want to be around someone that's attracted to kids? It's creepy.
This 22-page lawsuit details the alleged abuse that happened in 2018. The girl was 11 years old.
Can you imagine holding on to this info for 7 years? I couldn't hold on to it for 7 minutes without turning them in.
22-page lawsuit details the alleged abuse that happened in 2018. The girl was 11 years old at the time and was a member of the Refuge of Hope Church.
That's a creepy name of a church.
The church is affiliated with the Assemblies of God denomination. Clara Rivera, Mariano's wife, is a pastor of the church, and the couple helped start it in 2009. Court documents report that the church paid for the young girl to attend a summer internship at a camp in Florida and alleged that she stayed in a dorm with other children without parental supervision. The lawsuit states
that's always sketchy.
Jane Doe was repeatedly sexually assaulted by an older female camper in the dorm and in the shower.
Oh, so it's probably a closeted lesbian that can't do it because of religion.
The civil complaint also says the girl called her mother.
Can't date girls, so then they take it out on kids. It happens all the time with gay people in religion.
Female camper in the dorm and in the shower. The civil complaint also says the girl called her mother to tell her, and the mother reported her concerns to Clara Rivera, who is said to have told the family that she would investigate.
What a pig. You're a liar, you're a scumbag, and you make all religious people look bad.
Documents state that while the Riveras traveled to the camp and allegedly received more information about the abuse, they did not report the allegation. The lawsuit alleges they, quote, isolated and intimidated the girl to remain silent about her experiences, quote, to...
Do you think, if God is real, do you think God's proud of you, Mariano Rivera? I don't care how good of a baseball player you are. You are a scumbag and your reputation is dead. Can you imagine what God thinks when you defend pedophiles? And if for some reason God wants to defend pedophiles, I never want to be religious. You are all scumbags.
Avoid potential scandal. Court paperwork also states the girl was sexually assaulted again by the same person later that summer at a barbecue at the Rivera's home in Rye, New York. And 3 years later, in 2021, Jane Doe says she was sexually assaulted repeatedly by a male church employee who was a youth leader.
Sounds like a really awful church.
The complaint says he also forced her to, quote, engage in graphic electronic communications of a sexual nature until he was caught by the girl's mother and
but thank God they're religious.
Allegedly admitted to his actions. The lawsuit states that the adults mentioned in the documents in the church failed to protect Jane Doe from harm. And
I just can't imagine protecting a pedophile. That is just disgusting. That is the scum of the earth.
Did not have adequate policies or procedures in place. Documents say the girl has lasting physical, psychological, and emotional injuries.
Oh, but at least we covered up pedophiles.
She and her mother are seeking compensation and punitive damages. No arrests have been made in this case.
If anybody that goes to this church knows that this happened and they keep going, you're just as guilty.
Now, there have been similar allegations against Assembly of God affiliates in Florida. In fact, just last week, a former worker at the camp where Jane Doe actually went to in Florida, he just entered into a plea deal after he was charged with sexual abuse and assault. Live in New Rochelle, back to you guys.
I hope you all burn in hell, even though it's probably not real.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.